very intrigued and interested to really just learn more about it, how it can help people like us who are always on the go, as it offers a more convenient way of applying for home loans online without the hassle of visiting different banks and meeting various agents just to find the perfect plan, because we all know how crazy that can get. And of course, this event would not be possible without the effort of Nook's founder and CEO, Mr. Chris Elder. Let's give him a round of applause. And later on, you'll be hearing more from him. But let's also acknowledge his trusted bank partners: Asia United Bank, BDO, BPI Family Bank, Bank of Commerce, CTBC, China Bank, RCBC, and Security Bank. Let's give them a round of applause. Of course, we encourage you to share your stories, your photos of today's event, and don't forget to follow and tag us on Instagram at Nook Philippines, on Facebook and Instagram, once again, that's at Nook Philippines, and use the hashtag NookPH and hashtag Find Your Nook in all of your stories and posts. Now it is time to hear from no other than the man behind the website himself. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nook's founder and CEO, Mr. Chris Elder.
Hello and welcome, and thank you for joining us today. And to our banking partners, thank you for being part of this exciting partnership with Nook. You're all part of something new, and you should be congratulated for that. Thank you. Well, after more than a year in preparation and development, Nook is now set to bring formal mortgage brokering services to the Philippines. And for those that are unfamiliar, mortgage brokers are companies like Nook who have formed partnerships with multiple banks, and they act as an intermediary between those banks and new home loan borrowers. And they help those home loan borrowers find the right loan for their circumstances, and they guide them through the whole home loan process for free. And they do it for free because banks pay Nook a commission for delivering to them a qualified, ready-to-go new home loan borrower. So in short, they make the whole housing loan simpler for both borrowers and for banks. And in most Western countries, mortgage brokering is a multi-billion-dollar, completely separate industry on its own. And in these countries, the mortgage brokering brands are as well known as the major banks themselves. So as someone that obviously grew up in a country where mortgage brokering is well understood and firmly established, it's really easy for me to see how this successful industry and how it will fit this local market here very, very well. Because what Nook is doing is simply taking this already successful industry, this already established business model, and bringing it to a new market. So apart from our technology that you can see on display today, Nook is not inventing anything new. What we're doing is already proven. And because it's already proven, it's easier to see that given a little bit of time and a little bit of momentum, Nook will slowly change the local market positively, the same way that mortgage brokering has changed markets globally. So it therefore may not actually be much of an exaggeration to say that we could be at a point of evolution in the housing loan market here. Based on historical evidence of what has already happened globally, Things are about to slowly change here, thanks to the launch of Nook and the introduction of mortgage brokering services. Now, of course, time will tell whether that is in fact true. But here are a few statistics to back up this prediction. So back in the 90s, mortgage brokering did not exist in Australia. The market at that time looked very much the way the Philippines looks today. And then in about 1993, the first mortgage brokering firm in Australia was established, and it was called Aussie Home Loans. And if you talk to any Australian, they will tell you exactly who Aussie Home Loans are. They had a very strong television presence for many years in the country, and today they are 100% owned by Australia's largest bank. So mortgage brokering did not exist just a few years ago, but fast forward to today, and 60% of all home loans in the country originate from the mortgage brokering industry. 60%. And in the US, that statistic is even higher. It's 68%. So 68% of people in other countries go direct to a company like Nook for their home loan, not a bank. More than 2 out of every 3 borrowers. And the shift in the US is to go completely online for the mortgage brokering. They're adopting the Nook business model to a certain extent. So Nook has a hybrid business model of primarily online with some elements of offline transactions. But in the US, the clear trend is to move online, and that segment of the mortgage brokering industry in that market is growing at 22% year on year, and has done so for the last 5 years. And its growth rate is accelerating. So in the US, more than 2 out of every 3 home loan borrowers use a mortgage broker. In Australia, it's almost 2 out of every 3. And that's because of the presence that mortgage brokering has in other parts of the world, and the fact that people know the clear advantages of using a company like Nook to help them with their home loan application. Give them a few of your details, and a mortgage broker will handle the entire loan application process for you for free. So finding the right loan is greatly simplified for the borrower, and it doesn't cost them a thing. But this is not a one-sided coin. The advantages for the banking industry around the world are clear as well. So with Nook, banks no longer waste time assessing the loan applications of people who are unqualified to lend. They also don't waste time with people who are shopping around from bank to bank and in the end decide to go with a competing bank. So this is a great loss of efficiency, and I'm sure most of the banking partners here today would be able to tell us more about that than what I could. But with Nook, all the borrower pre-qualification, all of the shopping around, this is all done before we refer a new home loan customer to a partner bank. So banks are effectively outsourcing the job of finding and then qualifying new home borrowers to Nook. And this is why mortgage brokers are a very important part and partner to banks around the world. They are a key ally to the banking industry. So at Nook, we're obviously excited about what we're doing here. And how could we not be? This is an untapped market that all of us here today are a part of. So our vision for Nook is to be the #1 referrer of home loans in this country within 5 years. Now that's clearly a big goal, but with our technology and our scalable business model, it is achievable, and we will achieve it. But that goal won't happen today, and it won't happen tomorrow, but slowly and gradually over the coming years, as this new industry begins to take shape, just the same as mortgage brokering has changed other parts of the world. But whilst we're optimistic about the future, we're also realistic. And we understand that anything new takes time for people to understand. So despite the fact that what Nook is doing is very common globally, it's still new here, and it will take time for people to understand it. But that is the challenge for Nook. We understand that it is our job to promote our banking partners, whilst at the same time educating the public about the obvious advantages of using Nook, rather than trying to do the home loan application themselves, or relying on an accredited real estate broker to merely hand them a loan application form. So we know we have a tough job ahead of us, but Nook is in this for the long haul. And in the next few months, we will begin the raising of our next round of funding. And these fresh funds will be used to accelerate our marketing efforts, as well as establish our retail presence. So by the middle of the year, Nook will pilot the first of our mall kiosks that will be used to help people with their home loan applications face to face. So we all know that the Philippines is slowly adopting the internet as a place to do business. And I believe that is in a large part thanks to the likes of Shopee and Lazada, who are proving that if a business provides a well-designed and reliable online experience, that people will use it. Because the Philippines right now is going through what a lot of other countries went through 20 years ago. So we were also reluctant to use our credit cards online. We also had businesses that did not really take the internet that seriously. It was more of an online brochure than anything. So I've lived through an internet evolution previously. I've seen what happened, and I can therefore see what's coming for the Philippines. But as of right now, people still prefer offline transactions, and that's where our mall kiosks will fill this particular need. So we're excited about finding investment partners and growing Nook even faster than what we will do today. So again, thank you for joining us today for the final and official launch of Nook. And just before my team play a very short 60-second video which explains the three-step process to the way that Nook refers home loans to our banking partners. And if you have a glass in your hand, I would love for you to join me in a toast. So here's to a successful 2020 year for every one of us here today. Cheers. Cheers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chris. Another round of applause for Chris, and of course for
Application with Nook in 60 seconds. Ready? Here we go.